Hi, everyone. Robert Blackman, one of your customer success coaches here at Bright. And today I wanted to talk to you guys about watch lists, keeping an eye on certain properties. Have you ever run into a scenario where you needed to keep an eye on an address or a property in the MLS, even when it's not active? So, what I mean by that is, let's say you have a buyer that's looking for, interested in a specific home, a street or neighborhood. There's nothing currently for sale, or that property is not currently for sale, but you want to be alerted if something becomes active. Or similarly, if you had a buyer that previously toured a property and the deal never came to terms, but it was their dream home, they got outbid, and if that home ever becomes available again in the future, it was their dream home. You want to know about it, so you want to put it on a watch list in case it comes back on the market in the future. Or if you had a prior conversation with with an owner and sent them a CMA, and you want to monitor if that home happens to get listed by someone else, or maybe you had a property that you listed that didn't sell, and you want to watch it in case they relist elsewhere. Another scenario could be if you were using it for if you had certain comps that you're looking at and keeping an eye on because you wanted to keep it informed in case anything happens with those and see what happens with those for future listings. You want to know what those comps did, so you want to keep track of those. Or maybe it's just a neat house that you really want to keep an eye on because it's a luxury or an unusual property. And hey, if that becomes on the market, I want to at least be able to tour it. Right? It happens. So these are scenarios where you could actually go out there and set up a watch list in Bright. It is able to be done. So how you can do that is you can go here into the Bright screen in your workspace, and you'll see you have your quick links here, and one of those is an address search. Now, if I go in here and I go to my address search, you'll see that I can actually go in here and put in an address. We'll do 2 Swan Court for this one. We'll go ahead and put in the city. And obviously I could fill in as much information as I want. Now I could also go in here and let's say they're interested in 10 to 14 Swan Court as well. I can go ahead and add those in here. Let's say I have another client that's also, I'm keeping an eye out. Let's say I listed one of those other scenarios where I did a CMA for a property here, and I want to keep an eye on that property in case something happens with it and it gets listed somewhere else. Right? So I want to go ahead and put that one in here. I'll do that as well. So these are all kinds of scenarios. Again, you can keep adding more and more. So you'll see that more button right there. You can keep adding more and more. Now, what I'm going to do after I've put in those addresses here is I can go over here down to the status, and I'm going to select some of these statuses, which probably be the coming soon, active, and active under contract for the scenarios we were talking about, and maybe even pending. Now, I'm not getting any matches, but that's okay. So now I can go over here to my results. And when I'm in the results, I'm seeing I got no matches. Again, we know these properties aren't available. That's the scenarios we talked about here. So what I want to do is now go down here to the actions bar, and you'll see I have an option to click on save. And if I click on save here, I can now set this up as a new auto email. So again, I just put in the addresses in that criteria. I'm going to go down to the actions bar, click on save, and then click on new auto email. Now, once I've done that, I have to select a contact. That contact, if I if I don't already have myself in here as a contact, I want to add myself. So I'll just click right there where it says create a new contact. And all I have to do is go in and put in my information, which would be my first name, last name, and email address. All right. So again, only have to put in that information. And then I'll just click on that save button. Now I already have myself in here, so I'm going to go ahead and cancel that, but that's how you would add it. Now, once you've done that, you'll see if I click on if you've added that previously, if you've added yourself in here as a contact, you can go ahead and pick your name from the list. If you go ahead and create a new contact and enter that information, it'll automatically populate there. At that point here, I'm going to put in a subject, watch list. I'll make it that my subject. Again, you can make it whatever you want. And then all I have to do is go all the way down to the bottom, and I'll set it up as soon as possible on my schedule and then click on save. Now, if a property that matches any of that criteria comes onto the market, any of those addresses I put in, I'll get alerted. Now, the way I can go back to this and edit it, maybe I need to add more properties there, right? As time goes on, I may add more properties to this list, or have more clients I'm keeping track of. But how I can do that is I can go over here into the Clients tab, and I can go to my contacts, and then I can pick my name from the list here. I'll see my name. And once I do that, I'll see auto email. So here's my auto email. You'll see here, there's all of my criteria. But if I want to go ahead and make a change to here, I can click right there where it says criteria. And here I can go in here, add another address, and update it by clicking on that save button. So that's one way I can get there, again, through the clients and contact section, going to my name and then clicking on that contact and then going into the auto emails. The other way I can do that is I can go over here under clients and go to auto email. And once I go to auto email, I'm going to see a list of all of my different auto emails I have set up. And then I can click on the watch list and then go right there to the criteria tab and go and edit the criteria there as well. The thing I like doing is if you put it in the contacts, if you go and find it under the contact section, it's going to be much easier probably to find than it would in the auto email list if you have a lot of auto emails set up. But that's my tip for the day. If you guys need anything, please don't hesitate to reach out. Have a great day, everyone.